ICC case. Can you give us the latest, please?
Today we'll be expecting the UN Security Council to discuss and debate the deferral which Kenya, through the African Union, has forwarded to the Security Council. But here in Kenya, what we're receiving is that an opinion poll carried out last 2 weeks indicates that majority of Kenyans actually want President Uhuru Kenyatta to attend his trial at the International Criminal Court. That is about 60% of those people who are polled.
Sarah, what has been the reaction of the Kenyan people to the African Union's demands?
Well, looking from this poll that was carried out 2 weeks ago and only released yesterday, is that over half of all Kenyans prefer that the ICC cases continue. They're also saying that President Kenyatta should attend his trial because Kenyatta has been very opposed to attending the trial, whether here or at the ICC, and he is actually trying to contest not just having the trials deferred, but actually attending the trials altogether.
Sarah, let's move on to the WestGate Mall attack now. I wanted to ask you, what's the latest? I read something yesterday that the investigation into the attack has now been closed. Just tell us more about the investigations into the attack and then the tightening of the borders with Somalia.
Well, what I know, or what we know, what the Kenyan government is saying is that what it's doing now, it's pursuing a case which is in court where four suspects are facing trial. But there's been not a lot of talk about exactly what the investigations have so far been able to deduce. The Kenyan government also saying that it has revoked citizenship for 104 people. It does not say if their nationalities or whether they had anything to do with the WestGate attack. But what we know is that the reason they could have done that is because they find that there's been laxity and corruption in the immigration department. And so a lot of people who could be having terror links then manage to slip into the country very easily.
Sarah, I want to also ask you now about the repatriation procedure. It's now more than a week that it's been announced, repatriation of Somalian nationals back to their home country. How has that now been received by the people, and has there been reaction so far?
Yes, most Kenyans actually, according to the same poll that I was discussing with you, actually say they want the Dadaab and the Kakuma refugee camps where the Somali refugees are closed and the refugees to be sent home. But of course this comes with the backdrop of the WestGate attacks and allegations that Somalis and the admission by the Al-Shabaab group that they were involved in that attack. And so the heightened xenophobic feelings that have been there now just continue to be heightened. But when we spoke to the UNHCR, they said that repatriation will not happen overnight. It is voluntary. The Somali refugees will have to be sent in batches home for what they call a wait and see. They will go and see the situation at home in the areas that they're likely to be repatriated to, and then they will decide if they want to go home, only then. And they're saying that it's going to be voluntary, and the camps, according to international laws, cannot be closed because it is likely that not all the refugees will want to go back home.
Sarah, finally, how would you describe the relationship now between Kenya and Somalia?
The two countries actually have a cordial relation. Remember, Kenya has hosted refugees from Somalia for some time, but when they speak, you can feel some form of anger or some form of giving up on the leadership of Somalia from the Kenyan leadership, because they feel with the Kenyan troops being there, with the AMISOM troops being there, the Somali government should be working harder to put its political house in order, because other people are trying to put its security house in order, but it seems to be dragging its feet politically, and there's a lot of political wrangling and a lot of corruption, which could be stalling political movement forward so the country can actually stand on its own feet.
Thank you very much. That's our East Africa correspondent, Sarah Kimani, on the line from Nairobi in Kenya, giving us an update on the latest coming out of that country with regards to the International Criminal Court case against its president and also the situation with Somalian refugees in that country. But let's